Alright, Todd, we're coming to you live, tail of the tape. Fedor Emelianenko versus Josh Barnett. As you can see, Fedor Emelianenko coming in shape once
6 feet
again.
tall, 235 pounds. Fedor Emelianenko! In this corner, standing 6'3", 200 fucking fight.
Okay, Josh Barnett coming out, keeping a distance, keeping a fair distance. Fedor Emelianenko timing him. Josh Barnett seems to be trying to lure him in. To tell you the truth, I think Josh is trying to set up an omoplata. Damn, I don't know what happened to Josh's footwork, but man, he looks stale as crap. Oh, this could only be a matter of time. Damn it, I dropped my pen. Wow! Wow! Wow, let's see that again. Josh had that deer in the headlight fat kid who just dropped his lunchbox look on his face. Yeah, he ducked into it. He definitely ducked into it. Ouch. Ouch. Cookie dough. Josh Barnett made out of cookie dough. Okay, you didn't know. Alright, let's start off with some news, man. And I'm going to cite all my information I'm putting in the description because a lot of people keep saying, Todd, you making shit up. There would be no point for me to make shit up in the sport of MMA. Maybe you just in denial, so all that stuff is going in the description from now on. Anyway, M1 is suing Affliction because as it turns out, Affliction was waiting on their deal with UFC to go through before they decided on a replacement for Fedor Emelianenko in the main event. It turns out Brett Rogers was perfectly healthy to fight, and the fight didn't go down. So, as you can see, and as everybody know, UFC got Affliction in there as official sponsors. 1 + 1 = 2. First fight of the night, Fabricio Werdum versus Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Casual MMA fan ain't gonna know who Bigfoot Silva is. His nickname don't lie. He's like 6'4", 300 pounds. I don't know if this is an open weight fight or if Bigfoot gonna cut to 265. And Fabricio Werdum, UFC let him go a little too early after his loss against Dos Santos, like they have a history of doing. These two guys gonna make for a great fight. Combined record of 25-5. Anywhere else that'd be a main event or close to main event. Now on this card, if Fabricio gonna win this fight, I know he a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Antonio Bigfoot Silva a black belt and punch people in the face. So Fabricio gonna have to keep Bigfoot on his back. Fabricio can't keep Bigfoot on his back. Bigfoot winning this fight. Bigfoot gonna win the stand-up, and Bigfoot gonna win the ground and pound. Antonio Silva by split or unanimous decision. Next fight, Jake Shields against Jason Mayhem Miller. It's going to be an awesome fight, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to this. It's going to be good. Jake Shields is like on a 10-12 fight winning streak, and Jason Mayhem Miller is the strongest skinny guy anybody ever knew. If you try to size Jason Mayhem Miller up before you're going to fight him, just check yourself off as getting your ass kicked because you can't size him up really because like you think, oh, I got this guy, he's skinny. Nah, he will slam a gorilla. Having said that, Jake Shields moved up, got the belt against Robbie Lawler, but he was losing that fight, and luckily Robbie Lawler made a huge mistake, gave up his neck, and Jake Shields got a hold of that, guillotine choke. Jason Mayhem Miller not going to make the same mistake. Mayhem is going to take the fight to Jake Shields, and he's going to be the aggressor, and I see Miller, if he can't finish him, I think he will, but if he can't finish him, Miller going to get a unanimous decision. Next fight. Dang, feel like it's everybody's birthday. Gegard, Dreamcatcher Mousasi versus Ramea, Thierry, the African assassin, Sokoudjou. Cookie dough and coffee, man. Not bad. Not bad. This damn coffee, man. Got me more riled up than my friend who did tweak through all the 90s. Sokoudjou coming off of kicking the shit out of Bob Sapp in that Hulk tournament overseas in Japan. So Sokoudjou pretty greased up for this fight. He ready to go. He's been active the past few months. But Gegard Mousasi, the guy no one knows, but the guy that kicks everyone's ass. I noticed though, Gegard got a similar attitude to Mirko Cro Cop like back in Mirko Cro Cop Prime. A little too laid back and maybe comes off as a little bit cocky. If Gegard don't check himself, this could be like Cro Cop versus Random in 1, where Cro Cop just went in there like, yep, I'm gonna win, and he didn't win. You know, Sokoudjou got that explosivity, if not more, because he a better striker than Kevin Randleman. But if Mousasi keeps his shit chill and don't overcommit and underestimate the fighter, you're gonna win this fight by a first round submission, possibly armbar. Kimura, that's my prediction. First round submission. And main event, Fedor, Last Emperor, Emelianenko versus Brett the Grim Rogers. Now, if anyone qualified to commentate on this, it would be I watch all of their fights except for one of Brett Rogers that I can't find anywhere. They must have held that fucking fight in like a Kmart. So I've watched all their fights put together except one. Either way this fight goes, it's going to be good for MMA. Brett Rogers 10-0, Fedor 30-1, and you know, even if Fedor were to lose, you know there's going to be a rematch in there somewhere, and Fedor not going to lose 2 of these in a row. So the back and forth rocky aspect of it that could happen if the upset were to go down would only be better for MMA. A lot of people can't grasp that right now, but if you look ahead and see how it would plan out, it would be definitely good. In every one of Fedor's fights, when he's fought on a big, strong striker, except for Andrei Arlovsky, he's taken him down very quickly. Semi-Shield, Mark Hunt, Hongman Choi. Seeing how every big guy that's tried to take down Brett Rogers has, I see no problem for Fedor to take down Brett Rogers. The only chance I see Brett Rogers has of capitalizing on that is when Fedor come in. He got a split second or two to land 1 or 2 punches because he leaves himself open. Other than that, I see Brett Rogers against the cage and get swept by Fedor. Look at that James Thompson fight. He took down Brett Rogers like 3 or 4 times. And if he was good on the ground, he would have kept him there. But none of those fighters were good on the ground enough to keep Brett Rogers on his back. I know Brett Rogers is a big guy, but his takedown defense is probably about a C+. If Fedor try to keep this fight standing, it's a 50-50 fight, 60-40 Brett Rogers. Because Brett Rogers got the reach, and he's pretty quick for a big dude. And we know how Fedor likes to, actually we don't know, but he likes to dodge punches like leaning back. And you could dodge punches leaning back, but if that guy got a long reach, you can't do it for long because he's going to clip you one of these times. Like Chuck Liddell used to do that a lot until he got caught by Rampage. Muhammad Ali used to do that all the time until he got caught by Joe Frazier and he got saved by the bell. People don't duck their heads anymore. People lean their heads back, and even Fedor Emelianenko does that. Happened to Lennox Lewis. And then it happened to Hasim Rahman in the rematch. You can't do that. Guys with long reaches will eventually catch you. So Fedor Emelianenko has got to take this to the ground because through his bad habits, they play into Brett Rogers' strengths. He implement his game plan, easy win. Shoot in, take him down, submission. If he feel like he gonna go at it with him, then that's when the fight enters the realm of no one knows. And it will actually be an exciting fight. But for Fedor fans, it won't be too exciting. For Rogers fans, yes. But even then, I still think Fedor can get the knockout, so I gotta go with Fedor in this one. First round submission, I'd say no more than 2 minutes. And if Fedor wins this fight, no one gonna want to fight him. No one gonna want to fight him. Period. It's gonna be like after he knocked out Zulu. Everybody was thinking, is Fedor the real deal? Then he knocks out a 500-pound man, and it kind of pushed people back when it came to signing fights with him. This will do the same thing. Everybody know Brett Rogers will knock out Brock Lesnar. Everybody know Brett Rogers will take care of Nogueira. Everybody know Brett Rogers will beat Randy Couture. I'm not going all in when I say that. Brett Rogers hungry. He wanted bread. Broken and humble, people unite.